Now, can anyone explain the principle of conservation of energy as applied to this closed system? 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏, put the pen down.
Sir, I was just testing the force required to make it oscillate. Very physics, sir.
Very distracting, 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏. Now, the principle. Give me a coherent explanation, or you'll have to explain the kinetic energy of a flying slipper heading towards your head.
Ah, a flying slipper. Sir, it reminds me of the 𝙑𝘗𝐻 and 𝙑𝘈 saga.
I'm sorry, is that a new term in the curriculum? Is 𝙑𝘗𝐻 the vector displacement magnitude, and 𝙑𝘈 the unit of billionaire load?
No, sir. 𝙑𝘗𝐻 is 𝙑𝘖 𝙑𝘙, the social media investigator. 𝙑𝘈 is the entrepreneur. It's about the iPhone XR converted to an iPhone 17 Pro Max.
So, we've moved from the laws of the universe to the laws of social media deception. Go on, 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏, entertain me.
Well, 𝙑𝘈 was selling the phone, which has the body of a 17 Pro Max, but the engine, the core components, are still the old XR. 𝙑𝘗𝐻 exposed the factory in China where they just rushed the phones.
So, essentially, they're changing the external casing, but the internal capacity remains the same. That is a perfect example of a misapplication of resources and a blatant disregard for authenticity. It's the opposite of conservation of energy, it's conservation of deceit.
Exactly, sir. It's all about the optics. People want the status, the look of the 17 Pro Max, even if the processing power is still struggling with the basic Instagram filter.
So, they are paying a premium for a cosmetic upgrade. In physics, we call that a false equilibrium. The outward appearance suggests high potential, but the internal components deliver low performance. It's a scientific lie.
And 𝙑𝘗𝐻, sir, he's like the constant of revelation. He went all the way to China to trace the origin. He used his investigative force to expose the price disparity. He's the hero, sir.
So, 𝙑𝘗 𝙑𝗙 provided the necessary empirical evidence to debunk a financially motivated pseudoscientific claim. Very well. But, 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏, tell me, if a student wears a $500 jacket but submits a blank exam paper, is that also a 𝙑𝘗𝐻/𝙑𝘈 scenario?
That's more like an extreme theoretical failure, sir. The casing is Pro Max, but the brain is still running the 2007 Symbian operating system.
Precisely. Now, get back to the actual laws of the universe before your academic life becomes its own 𝙑𝘗𝐻/𝙑𝘈 saga, all outward appearance, zero internal substance. Now, the conservation of energy. Start.
Yes, sir. Energy cannot be created or destroyed, only repackaged to look like something more expensive.
So, 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏, let's circle back to this. 𝙑𝘗𝐻. You said he's the investigator. What's his motivation? Is it a passion for consumer rights, or is he simply trying to upgrade his own social media engagement metrics?
Sir, I think it's both. He wants to be a superhero for the masses, the man who can't be bought. He's applying the force of truth against the momentum of deception.
A battle between a noble force and a financial momentum. In physics, we know that to stop a moving object, you need an equal and opposite force. But in this case, the object being stopped is a scam, and its mass is people's desire to look rich. That's a very dense mass, 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏. You need a lot of force.
That's why he had to go to China, sir. To prove that the $450,000 NGN phone was actually just an XR wearing a Halloween costume. It's the ultimate evidence.
So, the extrinsic value, the appearance, was vastly inflated over the intrinsic value, the old technology. This is a great lesson, 𝙑𝙬𝗓𝗏. Always inspect the engine, not just the paint job. It applies to phones, and it certainly applies to exam answers. You can't just write Pro Max on a blank page and expect an A. The core processing power must be present.
Sir, is the formula for the conservation of energy also just a metaphor for the 𝙑𝘗𝐻 and 𝙑𝘈 saga?
You're getting warmer, 𝙑𝙬𝗏𝗏. See this, E initial equals E final. It means the energy at the start must equal the energy at the end. In the 𝙑𝘈 scenario, the initial investment E initial was low and old XR. The final selling price E final was high, a fake 17 Pro Max.
So, E initial does not equal E final. It's a violation of the law.
Precisely. That difference, that excess energy, is the fraudulent profit, the heat of the scam, which VDM is trying to dissipate from the system. He's restoring the thermodynamics of integrity.
Wow. So 𝙑𝘈 is violating the first law of thermodynamics, and VDM is the one trying to enforce it.
Now you understand. But remember, in the end, the phone buyers just wanted to impress their friends. What law of human nature do you think that violates? The law of
self-contentment, sir.
Excellent. Now, get your head out of the social media swamp and apply that same principle to your textbook. Don't try to look smart with a Pro Max answer when you only have an XR understanding. Now, back to work. Or should I say, back to the W in the W equals FD formula?
W equals FD. Work equals force times displacement. So VDM did a lot of work. He displaced the truth.
I heard that, 𝙑𝘈𝙗𝙗. Now calculate the work done by VDM to displace the truth from China to Nigeria. Assume a force of pure outrage.
Yes, sir. Thank you for watching. Please encourage me by sharing, like, comment. See you in my next post.